As a motorist passed by Bagram Airbase, one of the largest and most important United States military bases in Afghanistan, the motorcycle's camera managed to capture a horrible sight. In the video, a National Air Cargo Boeing 747 freighter flying on behalf of the United States Mobility Command crashes shortly after takeoff. The footage from April of 2013 shows how the aircraft suddenly goes out of control, as noted by an abnormal pitch-up rotation and stall. Then, as it touches the ground, the plane erupts into flames near the end of the runway. The Afghan authorities immediately denied claims that the crash happened because of enemy intervention, and the United States National Transportation Safety Board and the Afghanistan Civil Aviation Authority then banded together to look for answers. The results unveiled an unfortunate chain of events that rendered the fatal accident completely avoidable. A devastating crash. On April 29, 2013, a National Air Cargo Boeing 747 freighter flying on behalf of the United States Mobility Command took off from Bagram Airfield after refueling. The aircraft was set to perform a cargo flight from the Afghan Airbase to deliver 5 heavy armored military vehicles to Dubai Al Maktoum. Shortly after taking off from Bagram's runway at 3:30 p.m., the aircraft's nose suddenly rose in a brusque manner while climbing at 1,200 feet. The 747 then stalled and sharply banked right after a slight bank to the left, indicating an asymmetrical lift. Although the aircraft soon righted itself, it then went down at a shallow angle towards the ground, erupting into a ball of flames at the end of the runway within the boundaries of the U.S. airbase. The crash was later confirmed by the aircraft's owners, National Air Cargo. Sadly, all 7 crew members perished, and no one was injured on the ground. Amongst the victims in the crash was pilot Brad Hassler, a 34-year-old captain who had worked for the airline for almost a decade and had accumulated 6,000 flight hours, including 440 hours on the Boeing 747. The first officer was Jamie Lee Brokaw, who had worked for the airline since 2009 and had 1,100 flight hours, with 209 of them on the 747. The other crew members were Relief Captain Jeremy Lipka, Relief First Officer Rinku Schumann, Loadmaster Michael Sheets, and 2 mechanics, Gary Stockdale and Tim Garrett. After the accident, Bagram's district governor, Abdul Shukur, was interviewed by Reuters and claimed that the plane reached an altitude of about 1,300 feet before it suddenly went down. Initial investigation. After the dramatic accident was captured on the dash cam of a passerby vehicle, it was published online, and the video went viral within hours, leading to wide-ranging speculation about the cause of the incident. The Taliban, the jihadist political movement in Afghanistan, initially claimed responsibility for the crash. However, their involvement was denied by NATO. This claim was further discredited when Afghan authorities denied accusations that the crash of the civilian cargo aircraft was caused by enemy activities. Initially, the United States National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, worked alongside the Afghanistan Civil Aviation Authority to investigate the crash. In addition, representatives from the Federal Aviation Administration and Boeing also provided aid and technical expertise during the examination. At a press conference on June 2nd, a little over a month after the crash, the Afghan investigators briefed the general public about 3 armored vehicles and 2 minesweepers that were in the aircraft and totaled 80 tons of weight. As the plane took off, the cargo seemed to have shifted, and the center of gravity moved so far back that the pilot lost control of the aircraft, causing the tragic accident. While charred, the recovered straps used to tie down the cargo provided evidence of having broken down before the final impact. Still, it was unclear whether these fractures happened before or after takeoff. In October of 2014, Afghan authorities reported that they had delegated the remainder of the investigation to the NTSB, and the organization opened the docket the following February. The National Transportation Safety Board then confirmed in June of 2015 that the National Airlines Boeing 747 freighter Flight 102 crashed on takeoff because of the inadequate restraints on the 5 military vehicles it was carrying. As stated in the report, this improper protocol led to at least one vehicle moving rearward, thus crippling essential hydraulic systems, damaging the horizontal stabilizer components, and making the airplane uncontrollable. The report also added that while on the ground in the base, the captain was informed by a crew member that one of the straps had broken. The 7-person crew then engaged in a discussion about a possible load shift while the aircraft had previously landed in Bagram, and there was also a discussion regarding further resecuring of the load before departure. However, the aircraft departed an hour later, and it is unclear if anything was done. Massive oversight. According to the investigation, the Federal Aviation Administration's inadequate and frequent oversight of national airlines' handling of special cargo loads also contributed to the accident. The enterprise is the parent company of National Air Cargo. The study claimed that National Airlines' official cargo operations manual omitted critical information from Boeing, the aircraft manufacturer, as well as from the cargo handling system manufacturer about how they adequately secured cargo. In addition, the National Airlines manual also contained incorrect restraining methods for special cargo loads. According to NTSB Chairman Christopher A. Hart, who spoke at the outset of the board meeting, quote, "The crew took on an important mission to support American forces abroad and lost their lives not to enemy fire, but to an accident. We cannot change what happened, but in fully investigating this accident, we hope to find ways to prevent such an accident from happening again." Consequently, the board included 6 recommendations aimed at federal regulators, calling on them to improve training, certification, and oversight of special heavy load carriers. The board also recommended that the Federal Aviation Administration create a thorough certification process for personnel responsible for the proper loading, restraint, and documentation of special cargo loads, particularly heavy military vehicles on transport category airplanes. Other recommendations included in the docket call on the Federal Aviation Administration to improve its ability and quality control regarding the inspection of cargo aircraft operations, specifically those involving special cargo loads. It is expected that plenty of lives will be saved with the implementation of the recommendations issued by the National Transportation Safety Board report. The following July, the National Transportation Safety Board officially voted 4-0 to accept the staff's conclusion that the crash's probable cause was the inadequate restraints placed on heavy military equipment that allowed the cargo to shift inside the aircraft. Response. According to Mark Dombroff, a lawyer representing National Airlines, the enterprise was severely disappointed with the outcome. National Airlines believed that an additional investigation regarding the accident should have been performed despite the evidence. As Dombroff told the Free Press, quote, "We don't agree with the probable cause that they found. The investigation did not encompass what we would have expected." Bill Hassler, pilot Brad Hassler's brother, attended the accident's hearing in Washington and stated in an interview that while it was challenging to listen to the detailed report, it was gratifying to hear that the crew was not to blame. Quote, "There was a moment of gratification to hear that the crew, my brother, the pilot, had nothing to do with that plane crashing. It was a relief." Thank you for watching our dark footage video. Please let us know your thoughts about this shocking crash and its subsequent investigation in the comment section below. And for more military-based content, don't forget to subscribe to all the Dark Documentaries channels. Stay tuned.